This is what I will install in a minute. Hi guys, so December 31st, last day of faithful year 2024, I was expecting 3 small items from Amazon. The delivery guy ended up giving me 4 packages to my surprise, and when I opened the big box, I realized he also gave me an Harry Potter puzzle destined to my neighbor. I eventually found the person and made a kid's day. Then there are LED lights for the back of my screen as I switch monitors and lost the ability to have green turquoise lights when filming. It's branding, it's important, isn't it? Then the package destined to the Mac Mini upgrade. It's a kit necessary to add a second internal SSD. I already had a dual boot system that I need in order to use my old software like Adobe After Effects CS 5.5. There's also 1 TB of space with 90% of it being available, so I'll use it as cache for Resolve and whatnot. This is what I will install in a minute. Finally, I received an extended arm for the DJI RS3 Mini, so my Canon 70 Mark II can be properly balanced on the gimbal. I'll make a comment on it in a separate video. I have a fun project in the making, a perfect time to remind you to like and subscribe, and thanks for all the engagement on the past TC video, that's greatly appreciated. That said, let's get back to the Mac Mini tweaking. This operation requires specific screwdrivers that Apple loves so much. So after shutting down the computer and disconnecting everything, I made some space to work on it and started to dismount it. The first part is pretty simple. I already did it once without too much trouble. So I open the cover by sliding it. I dismount first the Wi-Fi receptor, which can't be disconnected at that point, so it will stay on the side. I can already remove the fan. There's also a piece that I have no idea what it's for, but it seems to lock things into place. Then I remove the RAM, which is much easier. The SSD is actually easy to remove because it's super thin, so you only need to disconnect the SATA cable and the rest just comes out. All of these screws are easy to remove, so no problem. The only delicate part is disconnecting the receiver because it's a tiny connector and it feels like you're about to break it at any moment. So yeah, if you're slightly less careful than I am, you'd rather avoid doing this operation yourself. It is not done for everyone. I'm quite tech savvy, and yet this particular operation felt like a heart surgery. So yeah, it was stressful at times, but eventually I got these components out of the frame. Finally, I disconnect that Wi-Fi receptor, being super careful, and I got surprised here. Oh, okay. Removing the motherboard is a bit more tricky. There are screws and cables that I didn't see. It's all black on black, so you don't realize there are connectors. First, I disconnect the power supply, then I can slide the motherboard out of the frame. I had to use this double pin tool to remove the motherboard and follows the power supply. That step requires some patience and some fingering, a lot of fingering actually. Now it's time to remove the new SSD from its placeholder. It was used in the bay of a TerraMaster D4300, but the bandwidth was very limited. There was a bottleneck when using it as an OS directly from the bay. That's why I installed it in the Mac Mini instead, so it's directly connected to the motherboard. It's a bit tricky because the cable for the SSD is long enough but isn't properly angled. It's not a deal breaker, but I had to tweak it a bit to get it connected. Once connected, I simply rebuild the computer, and the only annoying part is the pin which goes under the power supply. It goes under the connector and is not easy to place back. And after reconnecting the power supply to the motherboard, I realized that I f***ed up. See, when I was sliding the motherboard out of the frame, there's a tiny connector I didn't see until it was broken. Here you can see the exact moment where the pins got off the socket. I was obviously asking myself if I totally destroyed my computer, because it's not like I have a budget for another machine. So I got pretty anxious. I quietly placed back the pins in the socket as I could, but some plastic from the socket was gone. It eventually looks decent enough to be considered fixed aesthetically, but I wasn't sure if the pins were in the correct order. Then I realized one of the screws from the cover is missing. I searched for it, but then gave up because I really wanted to test the machine first. I still didn't find it, by the way, might have fallen underneath the desk or something. Anyway, I reconnect the Mac, press the start button, and ta-da! It works. Well, if this video is online, it's because the Mac Mini works, so you had a clue hidden in plain sight. However, a major part of the computer doesn't work anymore. It's a feature that could potentially make the Apple Mac Mini worthless. It's the LED light that shows it's on. Yeah, without it, sorry, but things are not the same for an Apple fanboy. I'm kidding, I don't care, it's working, I can edit, I'm happy because the second SSD is properly connected, life is good. However, if you enjoy this content, I need more subscribers to reach the requirement for the YouTube Partner Program. So if you are not subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It would help tremendously. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Happy New Year, peace.